karibuni kama umekuwa na sisi na kama ndio unatujoin, kipindi ni KTN Ladies Night na tunakuwa hapa kutoka 7:30 mpaka 9:30. And now tumewapatia entertainment, sasa tunataka kuwapatia inspiration and aspirations yani. And on set leo tuko na the beautiful and talented writer stroke speaker Fauza. Manze, karibu sana.
Asante.
Welcome so much to the show.
Asante.
Kuna kitu kama hiyo, but so much, karibu sana yani.
Hata mimi na karibia as much.
Asante sana kuja. I know you're a busy woman, but you made time for us and we feel very, very, very special. And kama kawaida tunataka pia watu wa home get something out of this. So you're a writer and a speaker.
That's correct.
You're a published author actually, not just a writer.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about your book.
So the book, it's actually a personal journey. You know, sometimes in life we feel like there is no hope. We know life pushes you on the wall. Unaona ni kama hakuna kitu mzuri yenye inaweza tokea kwako. Unaona ni kama that's the end of life. But nimekuja kurealize kila kitu ambacho supitia, there is a lesson for it. And the only thing for us to learn ni kujiuliza si wenyewe, what am I doing now with what's happening? How can I use this to serve the purpose of my soul? How can I use this journey? Whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, whether it's family rejection, you know, there's so many things that people go through that they feel like they are the only ones. And I used to feel the same, especially, you know, when you are trying to find your place in the society, ujijui we ni nani, you know, it can be a little bit confusing. So yeah, Rising from the Dust, A Woman's Journey to Self-Discovery, that's the title. It's a personal journey, and I'm glad that it has actually inspired a lot of people.
So now that you know why you are here, unajua tunalisa gawa to a substance, and that is who you are, a woman of substance.
Thank you.
Was the speaker before the book, or were you a speaker? And when I ask speaker, what sort of talks do you do?
I do inspirational talks, like Kamal. I live in Dubai, but I do most of the projects back here. I also do a lot of speaking engagements, also in Dubai and other countries as well. But you know, I always believe that mcheza kwa utunzwa. So I've decided that when I started to talk about my journey, you know, we see our stories through other people. And watu tu walikuwa wanatumania message, you know. I remember the first KTN interview I had, Books and Blogs. You know, it had a lot of impact actually. I was getting messages and messages. And I realized that people are struggling, people are suffering. And saa zingine tunaogopa ukiongelelea kitu yenye tuseme unaenda, you know, depression, uko na depression, yeah. Tuko na ile fear ya kuwa nikiongelelea mtu mwingine atanijudge. But saa zingine tusipo reach out, you know, other people won't really know how we feel, because sometimes sisi wenyewe we don't even know we are sick. Mtu anaweza kuuliza how are you, and you go like I'm fine, but deep down you are not fine. So I do inspirational talks as we speak. Actually, I was in Dandora High School. I went to Kariobangi. I was in Kariako for women. It's actually a group of young single mothers, teenagers actually, 15, 16, 17, the oldest. And these are girls wenye tayari wako na watoi wawili, na wengi wao ni wa Mombasa. You know, so I keep on asking myself, what is it that we are not doing right? You know? So, yeah, I feel like God has given me this journey, this whatever I'm doing, so that I can serve the purpose of my soul, but also to encourage other people so that they don't feel like they are alone.
So umesema it's God amekweka hapo, God has put you there to speak to these people. And what made this come out in you? And ukianza unajua watu binadamu unajua watu wataangalia tuseme ni nini namfanya aone anaweza kuja na niambie mimi venye nitaishi. Yani yeye advice yake ndio tofauti kushinda ya huyu mtu mwingine. How did it come up in you, na ukasema today is the day I will do this for someone?
Well, I always say sikuamka nikajipata nikiwa hapa tunafanya hii interview. Una get? You know, it was a process. Writing Rising from the Dust was a cleansing process for myself. You know, when you really go back to the memories, unarudi, unafungua hizo cabinets and you start cleaning up for yourself. And it's not easy. Si rahisi kwa sababu saa zingine you don't feel like doing it. But I did it because I wanted to heal myself, to accept myself with my story as I am. You know, whether it's rejection, whether it's depression, you know, feeling of inadequate, insecurities, I've battled with fear. You know, there is so much. Watu wanapitia vitu mingi sana. So, well, I don't know. Why am I doing it? I feel because I'm not doing it actually only for other people. I'm doing it because I'm serving the purpose of my soul. And it's when people actually come to me and they say to me, Asante, I saw you talking about identity. The other day we were talking about identity, you know, and how we don't need to identify ourselves with the labels we've been labeled with other people and the ones we identify ourselves with. And I don't know, there is so much to do. You know, I take it so personal when I hear young girls committing suicide. You know, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, parents, teachers, you know, the government, ni nini yenye hatufanyi? You know, because we cannot start running when things are not okay. You know, we need to do something. If it's sanitation, there is no sanitation. What are we doing about this? You know, so I know that I cannot help everybody, but najua we can only do our part. Because at the end of the day, if we wait for other people to do things, you know, who is going to take the action? So I feel like, you know, the reaction of people, you know, messages and miupata, they give me the energy, you know, the strength and also the hope that other people they are being helped because I've said a word of encouragement. This is what makes me do what I'm doing.
And unajua wanasema mara nyingi ndio mtu aone a problem somewhere else, lazima pia ndani yako ukuwe
lazima ukuwe umepitia kitu na lazima ukuwe wewe mwenyewe you have come to terms to who you are, you know.
So maybe you can tell us a bit more about you before uandike sasa the book itself. What did you discover about yourself? What had you been through? Yani, what is the story behind it?
Well, I always say my story is not so strange. If it's being born out of wedlock and being labeled, I think there are so many other people who have gone through the same. If it's rejection, there are other people there are so many people who have gone similar issues. But for me, kitu yenye ilinifanya, unajua saa zingine, it's like what I said, you don't even know you are sick yourself. Sometimes we don't know we are sick. Because tumezoea hiyo situation yenye tuko mpaka you don't know anything better. And it all started when I was trying to reconcile with myself the reasons of my birth that actually caused family division. And going through this journey, I had a coach, I had a counselor, and I realized that I was not okay, you know? And I wasn't happy with myself. You know, I always say people only see the glory, but they don't know the story. No, so I knew I had to do something, you know, because words have power. You know, we label people, we say things to other people. It's emotional abuse, it's physical abuse, you know. It stays with someone, but sometimes we don't even realize. And so for me, it was a process. I needed really to find out, why am I feeling this way? You know, and how can I get rid of these thoughts? You know, the mind is very strong. I always speak of the power of the mind. Yeah, it can condition you to believe what everyone else has said about you. Unaelewa? But who do you call yourself? Even when someone says, oh, you are a prostitute, you know, who do you call yourself? And sometimes you may realize, based on the talks that I do, most people, most girls actually, a lot of girls, even today I was speaking to some girls, we identify ourselves with the labels that we've been labeled by other people. We don't even know our own identity, that it does not come from our parents, it comes from God. Unaelewa? So it's not easy, but we need to know who we are, so that we can identify kwamba tuko na shida and what can we do, reach out to get help. I had a coach, and that's how I went through this process, and here we are.
So for you, the turning point was you were making peace with something that happened during your
Yes.
And like you mentioned earlier before, ulikuwa umesema sometimes unaweza uliza mtu kwaje, I'm fine, because in my head I have a job, I have a roof over my head, silali njaa, in a few years I can save and buy a car, but it's never, you know, there's never a straight path to anything. And how do you take yourself from that? Ni tips gani unapatia msee, kaa chini ujiangalie, so that you know what you're actually going through? What sort of tips would you give someone to self-discover more?
I think we need to do self-talk. You know, I always encourage every time I have an opportunity to speak, me wa encourage nawambia, sometimes you need to be still. Kwa sababu ukiwa umekaa chini umenyamaza and you gather your thoughts, you know, you align your mind, your body, everything together. And you find, you know, you will realize that akili yako, it continuously goes on and on and on. And the mind is very powerful, you know. What we feed it, it will continue to make, it can even make a movie unrealistically, you know, here, the power of the mind. So, ni tip gani naeza ambia mtu? You just need to know that identity yako, aiko in align na kenye unafikiria, kenye unapitia, kenye umeambiwa, labels zenye umeambiwa. It does not align with this, kwa sababu nimekuja kurealize kwamba God, you know, he's the final. And the fact that we are here in 2019, it means you are not here by accident, because God afanyi kitu yoyote na accident. You know, he purposely does things. And none of us are accidents, you know. And kila kitu yenye supitia kwa life, si ati God ajui, God anajua, but he's preparing you for your mission. You know, and but you will only understand ukikaa chini ujiulize, why am I going through this? And nezaje tumia hii experience not to serve me, but to serve others and to serve, you know, the purpose of your own soul. Because every experience has a lesson. And our business is to find out why are we in that season.
I mean, it's always amazing ukipatana na female who's so confident in themselves. Unajua, I'm sure it's not always a clear road for you, but
absolutely not. I still have my bad days.
Very hopeful, yeah. And so you mentioned ulikuwa na coach, and sometimes unajua Africa predisposition unaangalia uko, it's an unnecessary luxury. Do you feel it's also an unnecessary luxury, ama it's something you should try at least once?
You know, ni kama vile tumesema kila mtu anapitianga vitu tofauti, si ndio? For me, I was sick. And the reason why I knew this, it's because my son actually one day alinipata kwa bedroom na nalia. And I don't know why I was crying. And he was like, "Mama, are you okay? Is everything okay? Why are you crying?" You know? And it's like, Kenya nimekwambia, sometimes we don't even realize we are sick ourselves. You know, we work with broken people out here. We pass people every day. People are broken, but we don't realize. And sometimes everyone ako busy. Kila mtu ako busy na life yake. Hakuna mwenye hata ako considerate, you know. And so, if you really feel that things are not well, you don't need a coach. A trusted friend. You know, if you have good relationship with your parents, talk to them. But I always say, you know, that's why there are a lot of issues of suicidal things nowadays. Ni kwa sababu watu first of all they think ni yeye peke yake anapitia hiyo kitu. I used to feel the same. I used to feel I'm the only one rejected by family based on the choices I've made in life. You know, I'm the only one born out of unloving family. I'm the only one who has lived in a dysfunctional family. But una realize when you share your story with other people, una like, oh, kumbe kuna hata mtu mwingine mwenye anapitia kitu kingine hata zaidi kuniliko. But you can only find out ukijua kwamba you are sick and you need help. So coach, mentors, these people are very important. Like I have mine and I thank God for them because they keep you on track as well. Na si lazima uende kwa mtu ulipe pesa. It can be even your friend, someone you trust. But they need to see that wewe mwenyewe unafaa kuona you something is not okay. Juu kama ujui things are not okay, nobody's not hakuna mtu mwenye atajua uko na shida.
And just before we wrap it up, I understand uko na projects zenye zimekuleta hapa, like you mentioned earlier, you wish you home. But karibu. And so you have some projects going on. Maybe tuambie briefly about those.
So based on what I've been doing, you know, it all started with the book and then the speaking engagements that I do. I realized every time nikimaliza kuongea ninauliza mtu swali, hakuna mwenye anajibu. Unajua kwa nini? Wanaogopa ule mwingine nikiuliza kama I've been sexual abused, ule mtu mwingine atajua na watafanya nini? Watanijudge. So nimerealize there are so many broken people out here, but they are so scared to talk kwa sababu wanaogopa mtu mwingine akijua itaenda mtaani, you know. So I've started a conference. I call it Woman to Woman. We had it on Saturday. It was amazing. We had more than 50 women who showed up. And women, they didn't want to leave the room. That's how impactful it was. So it's for us, you know. We had some gentlemen also, so don't feel like the men were left out. They were actually contributing as well. But the intent, it's for women. Nili realize wanawake saa zingine, they don't have a safe place to go. And so Woman to Woman in a platform yenye, you know, we get together, we share when you are depressed. We had psychologists in the room. We had lawyers in the room. We had doctors. We had women. You know, people were there. So mi nikijua uko na shida fulani, I will call so and so. I'll say, do you mind talking to this person? You know, a safe place. We share our vulnerabilities. We share our fears, we share our anxieties, we pray for each other, we encourage each other, even successful stories, right? So that's one, woman to woman conversations. And then I started Fauza Foundation. Fauza Foundation ilianza kwa sababu ya, you know, nilirealize nikenda talks kwa mashule, kwanza in the slums or the rural areas. You know, some of the girls ukiwauliza, what are the things that sometimes you lack? You know, inaweza kuwa ni kalamu, nini. You know, they know more things, And some of the girls, they were like, sometimes hata sina pads. Juu kama hakukuwa na chakula jana, anaweza kuwa na paketi ya pads ya 100 bob. Haiwezi kuwa nayo. So I really took it so personal because I look at these girls and I see myself, I identify myself with them, and I feel like to whom much is given, much is expected. So I decided, okay, I will have a foundation, get donors who can support. And so far we've actually helped more than 2,000 girls.
Wow.
Yes, today we gave almost 200 girls sanitation. Yes. I'm so tired, I'm telling you. But I thank God. I thank God for the grace that He has been giving me, honestly. How I do it, divine. How do I get the donations? I just get the donations. How? Mungu anatenda. You know what? God sees the heart. When our intentions are right, God will provide. I've seen it. I'm telling you a testimony. Hello.
Amen.
It's working.
And just before we take a break, maybe unaweza tupatia social media handles, emails, contacts if they want to be part of your Women for Women or something.
Oh, actually, sijamaliza. For the foundation, so we do the sanitation. We've started paying for a girl's school fees because I realized some of the girls, imagine wazazi kupata 15,000, it's a problem. So we've started with one girl. I'm not going to say where, but this is part of the foundation. and school amenities. So as we grow, the foundation will grow. My prayer is to have Fauza Foundation School.
Amazing.
Social media handles, Fauza Beltz. Beltz is BELTZ. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube channel. Actually, normally I do normally my recordings. I talk about identity.
Okay.
Yeah, branding. Yeah, branding. Confidence, you know, all the things, fear, you know, all the things that sometimes we struggle with, because there are things that I can identify myself with. I share them on YouTube. So just go subscribe. I'm telling you, you will be really be inspired.
Kabisa. Thank you so much, Fauza, for coming. And everyone watching from home, Uyo alikuwa Fauza Beltz telling us about her journey and her books. If you're interested, if you feel like you need to discover more about yourself, amwambia pali mtampata, and how you can reach out, how to be part of the forums she's having. So do not miss out on an opportunity of self-discovery. And kidogo tunataka kuwapeleka break, but msijali tunarudi na nyinyi kwa panel discussion moja moto sana.